Yo, what's going on everybody? And before you proceed to watching this video, keep in mind this is a review for episode 45 of My Hero Academia. So if you don't want anything spoiled, click off the video. If not, let's get on with it. Further ado, let's go ahead and let's get right into it. Initially I was going to wait on doing this episode because I was trying to do it one up to the current episode, but I'm going to go ahead and review this episode since this is what's hot for today, and then I'll continue to do my episode reviews for the older episodes. So, the episode starts off with the students that were behind on their grades or whatever in their training exercises in the facility, the training facility or whatever on the campgrounds. So they're discussing as to why or if they should go out and help save the rest of the students, but they are unable to do so because Vlad is not letting them. So Vlad's quirk appears to be blood control. We get to see this when they're talking, a scene of flames bursts through the door, and right there, it's your boy Dobby. But Dobby then gets punched right in the face by Vlad, and then he's imprisoned by what appears to be, I'm pretty sure it's blood. Gonna need to look into this guy's quirk a little bit more. But moving forward, he gets him against the wall. He encapsulizes him. Dobby's telling him, look, you guys are thinking that you're actually doing something good. We're all along, you're actually pretty far behind, and we kind of have things already set up the way we want to. We have UA tied with my All Might. By having those two things tied up, that means that if anything were to go wrong, both of these things can now be turned against society, and now society will no longer be in their favor, which gives the League of Villains time to, while everybody's distracted, sneak in and take over the scene. So that's pretty much what he was alluding to. And while he's holding on to him, next thing you know, Mr. Aizawa comes in with a nice kick to this guy's face, and you know, it appears that he's stomping the living crap out of this guy to the point where one of the students is like, hey man, I think you got him. But no, he's trying to show them that this dude's a fake. He's not really coming back. I love how in a serious moment they actually still can kind of keep it comical. I thought that was a good twist. So now that everybody can see that, oh, this actually was a fake of Dobby, at least now all of these heroes that are in this class, or these students, including Coda, now know what Dobby looks like. And so Mr. Aizawa is about to go back on, and he's about to take on everything. Vlad's like, do you really think that's such a good idea? But Aizawa's about to do what he's going to do. So one thing I'm thinking during this moment is, I don't know what it is, right? I can't really put my finger on it. But, like, I feel like Vlad is not exactly who we think he might be. And I could be entirely wrong. But the whole time I was watching it, I was just like, this just doesn't make sense to me. This just doesn't, something doesn't feel right. But I could totally be wrong. I'm not reading the manga. And for those of you that are, for my people watching this review, please try to keep it fresh for them. Don't spoil who the true leaker is, because ultimately, if you guys have already watched this episode, we are very aware that there now is a leaker within UA. There is a teacher that is not on the good guy's side, and so we need to know who that is. But don't spoil it if you guys know who that is. Let's keep it fresh for those of us who are going into this blind and are only watching the anime. So typically what I do is when the anime is over, I go in and I rewatch the episodes of the anime in manga form, and then I wait until the next season launches, and then I start the anime all over again. So we jump forward to the next scene. The heroes are actually Todoroki, and I think the dude's name is Shu, the dude with the arms. I don't remember his name off top. He was not a character I was really too keen on in the first place. But now what I like is these episodes are starting to give him more light. We're starting to see his character. We're starting to get more of him. So I like when these filler heroes or these filler characters start to get more prominent roles. We get a few reused scenes from Todoroki here. He's doing the ice attack that he always does from his right leg. And, you know, I really wish they would kind of come up with another animated scene for him. But I get why they're doing it. So they're fighting, and then we get the main villain here, who is the MVP villain of this episode, Mr. Compress. So what his quirk is he has the ability to either he can transfer items for himself into what appears to be a capsule. So he does it as a defense mechanism, and what happened was when the heroes came landing on top of him, he actually turned himself in. Dude, they're like liquid NyQuil pills. That's what they look like. So if you've ever seen like a liquid Advil or NyQuil pill, that's what this dude turns himself into pretty much. And so what's happening is these guys are trying to fight Compress, but everybody else is there. Dabi's there, the girl's there, there's even another Nomu there. And so they're trying to get after Mr. Compress, but no, they won't let him. And then when they're still attacking, the guy with the vanishing quirk, who I was trying to figure out who it was last episode, he actually appears and opens a warp gate for every villain for them to get away. And then just like that, the villains are just going through the portals like it's nothing. So I thought that was like, man, that was fast. But then Dabi's like, no, man, we're not going just yet. Not until we have them. And then that's when Mr. Compress reveals that, hey, usually when a magician is trying to make you keep your eyes on something shiny, it's because they're hiding something else. And then that's when he drops the badass moment of the episode, revealing that he has Tokuyami and Bakugo all at the same time. And when the heroes thought that they had actually gotten them back, no, man, they actually had Todoroki's ice. So they're about to go through, they're racing after him, and then out of nowhere, I wasn't expecting this. I thought this was it. I was like, there's no way they're going to be able to keep this momentum up. There's no way they're going to be able to get to him. This moment was too perfect. A naval laser comes and shoots dude right in the face from Oyama. So Oyama was actually, I would say he was the hero MVP of this episode, because after he shot that, they were at least able to get Tokuyami. And Todoroki, right when I thought he was about to grab the one that I knew was Bakugo, I knew it. Dabi comes and immediately snatches it out. I was not seeing that. And I was thinking, like, there was a moment where they were showing Todoroki actually fall. Like, one thing he doesn't do anymore that he was doing on, like, season 1 is he would have, like, was it part of his outfit or was it himself that he had half of his body covered in ice? And so when he was falling, I was like, why don't you just surround yourself in ice or fire so Dabi will let go? But that didn't happen. Next thing you know, the portals go away, and boom, just like that, they're gone. It's literally just like Naruto when Naruto was trying to get Sasuke, but Sasuke ultimately got away. And next thing you know, he's at Orochimaru's lair, and it's pretty much the same thing here in this episode, guys, with Bakugo. And that was really it, man. That was it. That was the climactic part of this episode. Afterwards, it's really just everybody getting back together, everybody in the hospital, just showing the aftermath of the events. One of the key things that we did learn is that, remember, the girl that can make objects, she had placed a tracking device on one of the Nomus, and with that, she was able to make a tracker that will then reveal the location of where that Nomu is. So two things could happen from that. They could either go to that location where they know that the Nomu is, and it's not the same location where the League of Villains is actually hiding, or it is indeed both the same location where the League of Villains is hiding and where the Nomu is at. But I don't think that the Nomus are in sight, so they might end up at two different locations. But what kind of cancels that thought process out, as now that I think about it, is All Might is on the phone with the detective, who then reveals that he had sent somebody out, an agent out, to look for leads on where the League of Villains could potentially be. Because remember, at the end of season 2, what's his name? It's why do I have such a hard time remembering this guy's name? Anyways, the guy with the DK quirk, he had came and he had saw Midoriya at the mall, and he put his hand around his neck and blah blah blah. That's what kind of led to them doing an investigation. So fast track back to where I was. So by having that event happen, they were trying to find a location. His agent had actually gotten a tip that he had seen somebody with a patched face go into what appeared to be a non-vacant building, where now, after doing more research, they have come to find out that there's actually what appears to be a bar there. And so we know this bar is where they're at, because this is what we've been seeing the League of Villains. This is where we've been seeing them stay. This has been the hideout. This is where we've been seeing them talk. So we know that a showdown is about to happen, or is meant to happen, where they're going to go to this bar to rescue Bakugo, and they're going to confront the League. So I don't feel like, though, that that's how it's going to go down. I feel like by the time they get there, you got the dude with the vanishing quirk. By the time everybody gets there, they're probably going to be gone. Whew, that was a lot. So after that, after all that conversation is done, they show this because two of the students are now having a conversation with, well, not two, the one with the hardening quirk. He's having a conversation with Midoriya, because now they know that it was, who was it? It was the hardening quirk guy and Todoroki. They were there. They heard All Might talking to the detective and talking to the girl that made the tracking device. When he found out that they made the tracking device, they were like, yeah, this is the perfect opportunity for us to also go save Bakugo. So they want her to make another device so that the students can go track the League down and try and save Bakugo. Tenya catches light of this. He's the one that figured out this is exactly what they're going to do, and he has a conflict with it because this is what he himself wanted to do when he went out on his own to try and avenge his brother, and we saw how that all went down with Stain. So now that he has those moments going through his mind, he's like, look, this is not a good idea. I've done the self-agenda thing, and it's not going to work. We should leave this to the pros. So now it's a conflict. We have somebody who would necessarily normally be on the side of his fellow classmates. He's actually trying to do what he feels is better for them because of his personal experience and how the trouble that it got them in last time with the hero killer Stain. So we get scenes for the next episode that shows that Tenya is obviously going to have a good conversation with Midoriya, and they're going to try to figure out if this is something that they should do or not. This is going to be Midoriya, if it does happen, this is going to be his first time actually trying to act out on his own instead of listening to the heroes or letting All Might do his thing. So we're finally getting a contrast of Midoriya's character, what he once done, conflicting with what he feels is right. So this is good. This is good. I mean, technically you could argue he went out of his way when he was looking for Tenya in Hosu City when Stain was out, but I think that was more of like, look, we're already on our way here anyways, let's split up and let's look for him. So I think that this next upcoming episode, episode 47, is going to be more of a struggle with everybody trying to figure out what is wrong and what is right. Alright, so that was pretty much the overview of the episode. My favorite moment is when Mr. Compress reveals that he does have Bakugo and Tokuyami. I gotta keep messing up on his name. He has those two, and that the characters did not actually win in the way that they thought. That was my favorite moment because it was a moment where the heroes didn't get what they want, which means they have to go back and try even harder. So that is it. What I would have wanted more from on this episode was I would have wanted more of an actual fight scene between the characters. I would have hoped that we would have been able to see like Dabi and Todoroki have a bout of flames, blue fire versus normal flame. I would have loved to have seen that take place, but we didn't really get that. And that's not to say that it won't probably happen later on down the road, but that's what I was kind of thinking we were going to get. Because when they show the episode starts, it's immediately showing everybody landing there, so I was expecting this to be more of a bout. Sui and Uraraka were both trying to catch up with the guy heroes at this time, with the guy students, so that's why when everything was done, they were just arriving. I wonder if they had gotten there, would it have been a different tone? Would the battle have been any better, or would they have just merely gotten in the guys' way? So I'm going to read the manga arc of this particular event here and see if there's any varying differences here. That's all I got for you guys. I'm trying to keep my reviews a little bit shorter. They typically end up being 14 to 15 minutes long, and that's half of the time that you guys would actually be watching a full episode. So if you've made it this far, in the comment section down below, type in Mr. Compressor number 1 to confirm with me that somebody has actually listened to the video this long, hearing me ranter, talking to this microphone in this room in the dark, actually hearing me. So, Mr. Compressor number 1. No. Make it Sly Mr. Compressor. That's what I want. Yes. If you made it this far into the review, Sly Mr. Compressor. And that's compressor with a C, by the way, not a K. Whew. So, Did I miss anything? Is there anything that you guys want to see me talk about? Are there episodes or animes in general that you guys think I should start watching and start reviewing? Because the name of the channel may be Senzu Bean Cartel, but it's pretty much all things anime and in general real talk. So keep me posted, guys. Let me know if there's something that you want to see me talk about. I'm Senzu, and we'll kick it on the next one, guys. Later.
Yo, 俺たちはそう、持たざるもの、ID もない、名前もない